Salutations, my friends. I am Voodoo. You must wake up. This is not real. You are asleep inside a dream within a dream. Follow me down the rabbit hole. Honestly though, what is real? What is reality? We, humanity, through our tangled mess of wires, are slowly mastering the electron. Time moves forward, and we march closer and closer to the full immersion VR experience. Reality is blurring. The virtual is becoming real. These are exciting times. So you want a VR? Well, I'm here to guide you on your journey into the virtual world. You're gonna need some gear. VR requires some serious computing muscle, over 90 frames per second minimums. I've noticed a lot of pre-built VR-ready PCs are popping up on the market. Personally, I am not so impressed. Subpar components and serious lack of style. I think we can do a lot better. So how much hardware can we get for a similar price? Is VR gaming really that expensive? This amazing build will mop the floor with the competition and is actually a pretty good value all in all. So let's get started. First off, we need a case. I've selected a DeepCool Dukase mid-tower ATX case. There are some pretty good options out there, but this one really has all the features we're going to need in a good VR system: style, size, and adequate cooling. This case comes pre-installed with the rear 120mm fan and has room for 4 more 120mm fans, as well as 2 beefy 140mm fans. It also supports liquid cooling of up to 280mm at the top and 120mm in the rear. It's a pretty decent size chassis, coming in at 20 by 19 by 8.5 inches and weighing around 13 pounds. It does support a graphics card of up to 390mm, which is great for future upgrades. We have 6 2.5 and 3.5 inch bays, so storage should be more than adequate. This case is overall very stylish and well built. The entire thing is electrostatic powder coated inside and out, which gives it a nice durable finish. It also has excellent cable management options to keep things tidy. $49.99. Holy shit, I think this thing must have fallen off the back of a truck. Alright, we are gonna need a hell of a lot of watts with this rig. So let's go with a Thermaltake Tough Power 850 watt gold rated power supply. This baby has high quality Japanese capacitors and plenty of muscle with 76 amps on a single 12 volt rail. It also features a 135mm intelligent RPM controlled cooling fan to keep temps and noise levels down. Its gold efficiency rating ensures longevity and quality components. A pretty good deal at $69.99. Time for a little RAM. VR is going to be graphically intensive, so the more RAM we have, the better. Nowadays, 4 gigs will barely cut it. And with the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, I recommend a minimum of 16 if not 32 gigs just to be safe. So let's grab a couple 8 gig sticks of G.Skill's Ripjaws V series. This DDR4 2400 MHz memory has a cast latency of 15 and is perfect for our Z170 build. $79.99. Go ahead and save up and grab 2 more in the future for 32 gigs of gaming fury. Alright, on to storage. This one is always pretty simple. What do you want? Speed, capacity, both? How much do you want to spend? In our case, I've opted for speed. I want to keep load times down and keep our experience very immersive. This time, let's pop in an Intel 535 Series M.2 drive. With 240 gigs of SATA 3 storage, we have plenty of space for games. M.2 drives take up a little room in your case and offer some very fast boot up times. This drive has a max sequential read of 540 and a write of 490. The Intel 535 is tried and true and a great solution for M.2 storage. $79.99 sounds about right. this build is starting to get serious. For a motherboard, I've got an idea. This is going to be a Skylake build, and we most definitely want to overclock with our Mobo. So let's snatch up an ASRock Z180 Pro. This board does rock. It supports up to 64 gigs of DDR4 3866 memory. It can really overclock our Skylake chip with its very stable 10-phase digital power system and heavy-duty chokes and caps. It's got quad fire capability for future-proofing. This bad boy even has 2 PCI Express ports for SLI. It's got 8 USB 3. It's got 6 SATA and can handle 4 fans on the motherboard. It even comes with an Ultra M.2. 109 is a little ridiculous for something of this caliber. I'll take it. Before we move on to our CPU, you already know it's not coming with a stock cooler, and if it did, you don't OC on boxed metal. Do you really want to overclock with a cheap hunk of aluminum and risk your hardware? Hell no. We need some serious liquid cooling. When it comes to all-in-one 240mm coolers, it's pretty hard to beat the Corsair H105. It's got a nice thick 38mm radiator with dual PWM controlled fans. It's toolless and customizable with interchangeable colored rings. What more can you want? Throw a couple more high-powered fans on this thing for a push-pull config and overclock your chip to its limits. Only $93.99 after rebate. Now that chip, if you guessed correctly, is an unlocked Skylake Core i5 6600K. Skylake is not all that impressive, but it does boast the best single core performance out there. And once you do a little overclocking, this monster will hit 4.8 GHz and smoke anything else out there. If you want to avoid GPU bottlenecks and really hit those high frame rates, Skylake i5s and i7s are the current kings. Xeons are a whole different story, but let's not go there today. This chip is a bit pricey, but hey, it's new and it's Intel, so what do you expect? It's a socket LGA 1151 quad core running at a stock 3.5 GHz. We've got 6 MB of L3 cache, which should flex those VR pixels nicely. Its 14nm manufacturing tech is current state of the art, and its integrated Intel HD 530 graphics are pretty robust. Skylake is also surprisingly power efficient with a 91 watt TDP, meaning with our badass all-in-one cooler, we will see some pretty low temps. Like I said before, $244.99 is a bit pricey, but sometimes you just gotta splurge. Now last but certainly not least, the key to the VR kingdom, our GPU. The Oculus and the HTC are both heavy hitters. We're gonna hit them back with an R9 390. I chose this card specifically because a 970 is anemic by comparison, and a Fury or a 980 just costs too damn much. And if I'm correct, one of these puppies will do just fine. Bet on it. Also in the future, VR and SLI Crossfire will play very nicely together, with one card possibly rendering for each image. That means down the long digital road, we can grab another 390 on the cheap and have 16 gigs of cross-fired gaming bliss. 4K, here we come. This XFX Radeon 390 is just gorgeous. I'll give it to XFX, they have some style. This may be a Hawaii chip and showing its age, but still, performance per dollar, you just can't beat it. It's boasting asynchronous compute engines, a 6000 MHz effective memory clock, and 2560 stream processors. Its massive 8 gigs of GDDR5 VRAM runs on a 512-bit bus. It's got 2 DVI, 1 HDMI, and 1 DisplayPort, which is pretty standard for AMD. We've got dual 90mm IP55 fans, so overclocking this baby should be a breeze. $274.99 takes quite a bit of bite out of our budget, but when you're gaming, this is where we separate the boys from the men. VR is no joke, and neither is our system. That brings our grand total to just under $1,000. There we have it, our VR-ready gaming rig, our portal into tomorrow. This is but a tiny first step on a virtual Penrose stairs of technological marvels. Soon, anything will be possible. Anyway, new VR headsets, much like new display technology, will continue to emerge and flood the market. Each has its own strengths, but one thing most serious units have in common is they require a badass gaming PC. And now, my friend, you're covered. Voodoo signing out and reminding you to like, subscribe, comment, and game on, my friends. See you next time.